What is going on, guys? George with another video, and welcome back to the channel. Right behind me, you already know, my 2017 Toyota Tacoma, and you read the title correctly. In today's video, we're going to be focusing on the rear portion of the truck, and we're going to be talking about everything that's in the back portion. That's including the rack, the action tracks, the tent, the ultra swing, and pretty much all the accessories that have made this build very capable and very functional when I'm out in the middle of nowhere. So the first thing we're going to be talking about are these bad boys right here. Boom! These things are action tracks recovery boards. They're based out of Kansas City and they're made in the USA, which is another reason why I went with them. Now let's talk about why I chose to go with this company. Before I say anything else, I have owned a set of Max Tracks, a set of ARB treads. They all do the same job. Now the question is, what recovery board does it best, and what is worth the money and your investment? Now this is why I chose to go with this particular setup, is because I remember back in the day I hit a Pismo and I had some Max Tracks. No, actually I had my tread 4x4s back in the day, and this guy got stuck. Anyways, long story short, I was like, dude, I got you, man. I got my recovery boards out, put them underneath the truck, and got the guy out. But what happened is that the little treads that go along the edge here, they were completely worn. Like, I was like, man, like if I ever have to use these things again, I don't know if they're gonna get me out because it's not gonna grab traction. Now, with that being said, when I heard about these guys, I noticed that they had something different. As you can see here, they do have some washers and some lock nuts here. So I've used these many times before, and after I used them, I mean, I really couldn't tell because it was super muddy, and I was like, well, it is what it is. I'll probably have to get another set. Little did I know that the reason why they put these lock nuts and washers is not only so you can service them yourself, but so they don't wear out like the other competitors, or yeah, I guess we can call them competitors. It is what it is, you know? I mean, it is what it is. So anyways, I got back home and I washed them. I'm talking about this set because the tread 4x4s, I was able to wash them on the spot because we were close to the beach, just kind of rinse them off. And yeah, I noticed right away that all the little treads were gone. They were completely like worn out. Anyways, back to these. I got back home, I washed them off, and I noticed that they look brand new. I mean, you do have some tire marks on the actual lock nuts, but nothing that really showed like damage, you know what I mean? The only thing that really showed wear were the teeth here, and I'm gonna call these, I don't know, beaver teeth or shark teeth, because obviously, you know, when you put it underneath the tire, it will flex to get that traction. But realistically, as you can see here, it looks pretty much brand new, like nothing ever happened to them. Another thing about these traction boards that I noticed that was very unique was, like I said, these little shark teeth or beaver teeth, whatever you want to call them. At first I'm like, well, that's kind of cool, it's just there for looks. Well, realistically it's not. You can actually use these boards to grab and dig into snow, dig into mud, and these little teeth here allow you to do that in an easy manner of just like, you know, that little motion, you know what I mean? So I don't know, like I said, these things are very affordable. I mean, they just kind of have met my needs, and it's definitely saving me some money, especially when it comes down to using them. Now I can actually like, hey man, you need to use them, go ahead and use them, and not have to worry about, you know, the treads kind of wearing out. So they do the job, very affordable, and it is what it is. Now when it comes down to the mounts that I'm using to mount the action tracks to my rack, these things are by Front Runner. I'm gonna take them off just so you guys get an idea of what they look like. It's a little tricky at first just because they're on there pretty well. All right. So as you can see here, I am rocking the Front Runner Max Track mounts, and these things are very modular. They do fit and do work with the tread 4x4s. They work with the Max Tracks, and they do work with the action tracks that I'm currently rocking. super solid. And this is one of the main reasons why I love Front Runner product. I mean, I've been rocking their product for about 3.5 years now, pretty much since I bought the truck. This bed rack is actually one of the first things that I purchased when I bought my truck. I bought this rack, I want to say, about 3 weeks after I bought my truck. So I've had this for a while, super sturdy, just like new. And I love the fact that it's so modular, the fact that you can add so many accessories, just like these action tracks and these action track mounts. So as you can see here, you do have these little knobs here that you turn to secure the max tracks or the action tracks in place, depending which ones you're going to be running. And I do like these as well because they actually have a small little opening here where you can put a lock if you guys are very skeptical and you guys are afraid of getting your stuff stolen, depending on your neighborhood. You can actually put a lock through this bracket and secure them in place and not have to worry about people taking your stuff in the middle of the night. So that is one of the main reasons why I like these things. But anyways, I'm gonna put them back on and just kind of give you guys an idea how easy it is to secure them in place. All we're gonna be doing is grabbing our boards. We're gonna place them right on top. Just kind of move them around. Push them into place just like that. And then once you do that, you can actually turn the little knob up on both ends, and basically what it does is secures it in place so it won't just kind of pop out in the middle of nowhere on the freeway. So that's pretty much it when it comes down to the action tracks and the mounts that I'm using for this particular system. All right, so let's talk about accessory number 2 that I do have on the back portion of my truck or on this Front Runner bed rack, and that is my Front Runner table. This is something that I use pretty much all the time, whether I'm camping or whether I'm home and I'm doing a quick, you know, whatever it is, DIY, and I need to assemble something. I'll pretty much bring this table out and I'll set all my tools on top of it and just work on whatever I'm working on. Or whether I go fishing and I'm doing a quick catch and cook, it's a perfect table to set the stove and all that good stuff. But basically, here it is. I know it's super low profile, but they do come with some Front Runner mounts that just kind of gives you the ability to put it underneath the rack, and that's basically where it is. You do have a little latch here that secures it in place, and as you can see here, you pull it out, bring it down, set it up like a normal table. I mean, you do have legs that you pull out, place it down, do what you got to do. When you're done, close the legs, put it back into place, slide it in, secure it in place, and there you have it, guys. As easy as that. And it's just little things like this that matter to me, just because I do carry other things in the back portion of the truck. As you can see here, I do have a Dometic slide. My fridge is not currently there because it's been raining lately, but I do carry other things like boxes and recovery gear and all this other stuff. So having a table that is so low profile that is basically almost not even there, but it is there because it's mounted underneath. Definitely this does come in handy, so just throwing it in there because it's been a huge help for me, and I just love it. All right, so when it comes down to these lights that I'm carrying in the back, these things are some S-Tooth Pros, and the reason why I have them is because I use them as something called chase lights, and what they do is they actually just warn people, hey, listen, I'm in front of you, be careful, don't crash into me. I've seen it happen plenty of times where people are hauling ass, you know, in the middle of nowhere, and it's super like dusty and they can't see each other, and one guy brakes and boom, there goes the other guy, and yeah, pretty much ruins their trip. So I basically just put these in the back for that, and not only that, but I also use them when I'm setting up camp and it's really dark. I turn them on, and that way I have some type of visibility in the back of the truck to be able to set up the fire pit or whatever I'm setting up. And I also link them up to my Switch Pros, as you can see here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but basically I can turn them on with my phone just like that. And the Switch Pros definitely do come in handy. So if you're looking for some type of light in the back, you know, to kind of keep things safe, I definitely do recommend you run. Doesn't have to be Baja Designs, it could be any type of chase light in the back to prevent any type of accidents, especially if you're out in the middle of the desert and yeah, the last thing you want is somebody crashing into the back of your truck. So these have definitely came in handy, whether it's to set up camp or just to warn people, hey, I'm right here, don't crash into me. Now when it comes down to the tent itself, this is also made by Front Runner. I've been rocking this tent for a while. I'll be honest with you, it's an awesome tent. It's a very low profile tent, but I would call this a summer tent. It's not a tri-layer tent, so if you do plan on doing any type of camping in the snow, this is probably not the tent for you. This is mainly for summertime. I do a lot of fishing during the summer, so I do like having a tent where I can actually take a nap and hang out if I'm gonna go camping in the middle of nowhere, to be able to rest, you know, for the next day. But when it comes down to camping in the snow in a tent like this is definitely not a tent for you. As you can see in this footage, this is a very, very big tent. I mean, it sleeps too comfortable, and it's a very functional, low profile tent, which I like. I mean, I like the fact that it's so small that I can actually take it off and put it on myself. I am a skinny guy, as you can see, got some big muscles. But you know, I've owned several tents before, and that was probably one of the biggest issues, which is why I went with this smaller tent, just because I'm able to throw it on whenever I want. But for the most part, it's a great tent. Like I said, very, very low profile. One thing that I do want to mention that I love about this tent is the fact that I do have some quick release mounts. It's going to be kind of hard to show because they're way in there, but I'll do my best to show you guys. As you can see here, these are what you call a quick release mount. Back in the day, I did have the old school mounts where you just kind of bolt it on, and it's fine, but if you're trying to just get home and take it off and put it inside and put it away, the quick release mounts are definitely more useful. All you have to do is pull that little lever, pull it out, pops right out. Do that for all four corners, and all you have to do is just kind of pull the tent back and it releases from the actual rack. Now when it comes down to the safety of these quick release mounts, I can tell you this just based on experience, they are super safe. You don't have to worry about them breaking in the middle of the trail. And then when it comes down to you being back at home in your neighborhood, they are safe because they do have a special lock with a special key that Front Runner made that allow you to actually lock it so people can't go on there and be sneakies and take your tent. The last thing you want is to wake up and your tent's gone, bro. Gone, never to be seen. I mean, you can probably see it on a trail, but it's gonna be very hard for you to tell that it's your tent. Now when it comes down to the rack that I'm rocking, this is what you call a Slimline 2 by Front Runner Outfitters, and this is a rack that I've had for about 3 years now, and I think by this point now I can actually talk and give you guys a solid review just based on how long I've had this rack. It's definitely a very, very durable rack, and even the way it's made super modular. As you can see here, I do have multiple accessories. These are all bolt-on. You don't have to worry about drilling. I mean, you can if you want, and I bet you anything, if you do decide to drill onto this rack, you don't have to worry about compromising the durability of it because these things are made super solid. As you can see here, I do love these tents. I do have two of them, one on the roof rack, one on the bed rack, and these things are totally being put to the test and being used. I mean, up front I do have everything from an axe, my awning, my solar panels, my LP6s, everything is mounted. In the back, I already gave you guys a little tour of what I have in the back. I try to keep it super simple, but at the same time super functional, especially when you're out in the middle of nowhere. You just want to feel right at home. I do love ground tents. I do love kind of putting stuff in boxes, but why do that when you can just get yourself a rack and just make everything a little easier? Now that's pretty much the little tour when it comes down to my bed rack. If you guys want to know more about the build, let me know in the comment section, whether it's suspension, whether it's my tires, whether it's my roof rack, whether it's what I have in the engine, what I have inside. I'll be more than happy to make those videos for you guys. At this point, I do want to make these types of videos, and it's not to show off because I'm not that type of person, but I want to show you guys all the details and all the hard work that has been put into this truck. I mean, a lot of you guys have been following this channel for a long time, and you guys have seen this truck transition into what it is today. So I figured, why not just make these videos for you guys, at least this new series. I guess I can call it a new series because it's going to be focused on what you guys want to know about the truck, and just show you guys exactly everything that I have and why I chose it and how I use it. So in this case, I've been getting a lot of questions when it comes down to the bed of the truck, And I usually answer them through Instagram, which if you guys aren't following me on Instagram, it's BustedBeGeorge, same thing as my YouTube handle. And I figured, you know what, let's make a video, let's get into detail. And as you can see here, I have simplified it and just kind of made things just kind of simple, I guess. You can call it simple because I know a lot of people are rocking some crazy stuff, and it's, hey, if it works for them, it works for them. But this setup here works for me. And I don't know, I figured just show you guys and share with you guys what works for me, and hopefully it helps you guys when it comes down to choosing the right products. Like I said, a lot of these products I've been rocking for a long time, and I like to stick to companies that are not only good to me, but that provide quality product and quality customer service, which is what Front Runner and a lot of these companies that are on my truck have done for me and others. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this little tour. If you guys want to see more stuff, please do me a favor, comment down below, tell me what you want to know about the truck, and I'll make a video for you guys. And if you guys are new, if you guys want to see more of this type of content, make sure you guys subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.